Ever since I can remember, I've loved owning cameras, picking them up, and just recording everything in front of me, which has included my trips to California, to Mexico, my nephews, my kids being born, graduations, weddings, and I naturally do this without feeling like it's a burden to do so. That's why when the Panasonic Lumix S5 II came out, I did not hesitate, and I purchased two of them. On today's video, I'm not going over every feature of the camera, but rather some of my favorites that allow me to capture amazing looking footage, both for my channel and for my personal recordings. The number one reason I have enjoyed this camera is because the amount of value that you get for what you pay, it's just unmatched. The features in this camera with another vendor can easily cost you double the price. You get a full frame camera, the best IBIS in the industry, dual native ISOs, beautiful colors with V-Log, dual memory slots, built-in cooling, and more. A rival camera with a similar price is the Sony ZV-E1, which is also full frame and it does record beautiful footage, but it's missing the active cooling system, which can lead to unexpected shutdowns. There's also recording limits, no weather sealing, no built-in viewfinder, only a micro HDMI port, and only one memory slot. All these little things add up and do make a difference. Wow, it's cool learning how to manually set your camera's recording settings like ISO, f-stop, and the shutter speed. For the most part, I like to just turn it on and start recording as fast as possible. The Lumix lets you save your custom settings for the dial under C1, C2, and C3. I have C1 set to record in 4K 30 FPS 4:2 with 16:9 ratio, which is for your regular YouTube videos or family events. For C2, I have it set to record in 6K with the 3:2 ratio, which uses the entire sensor, which the footage can later be cropped to 16:9 or even for shorts without losing any footage. Finally, C3, I have it set with my favorite settings to take pictures. So depending on what situation I'm in, I can easily capture what's in front of me quickly, efficiently, and I'm confident I'm gonna have good footage. I recommend you watch Sam Holland's guide on how to set this up. That's what I used. I'm definitely not an expert with cameras, but I know enough to capture good quality footage, and the menu in this camera is extremely easy to navigate. I've never been lost and I can easily find the feature I'm looking for. Just press the menu and you find 7 main menus, with each having sub-menus and options. I feel that even if you're a beginner, you can get down and dirty with this camera. One complaint I often hear with Sony users is the lack of firmware updates. One huge positive with Panasonic is that they are constantly giving new firmware updates. Since purchasing this camera, I have received about 4 updates, and in fact, they just released version 3.1 about 2 weeks ago, and it's not just useless updates. On this last one, they added 5 GHz support for Wi-Fi frequencies, and on the last one, they added high option for stabilization options. Panasonic kind of reminds me of Nvidia and their Shield as they continue constantly updating it, even though it's now a few years old. The Lumix S5 II does not feel cheap when you're handling it, and it even comes with weather sealing. So if you pair it with a good lens, you're gonna be protected even in the elements coming down. When I'm moving around, I've accidentally bumped it here and there, but it's very durable and nicely built. You will not get overheating when you're using the Lumix S5 II camera. It brings a fan inside that keeps the camera cool, and it's gonna let you record as long as you're supplying it power. This was a big factor when purchasing this camera, as I do not want to have limitations or pause recordings just because the camera can't keep up. You shouldn't even have to think about it. The Lumix colors are just beautiful, and if you shoot video and vlog, it's very easy to apply color to your footage. I went from being very frustrated and feeling kind of dumb working with Sony and trying to apply color to their log footage, to now using Lumix and quickly applying beautiful colors, especially when you combine it with DaVinci Resolve. While this camera is not the cheapest in the market, especially if you're a beginner, I believe it's cheap when considering how much return you can get out of this investment and how much features you get packed into this little beast. Some of these more expensive cameras don't even get some of these features. Heck, even the Sony a7S III doesn't have a built-in fan. Overall, I do not regret one bit acquiring my two Lumix S5 II cameras, and I hope they continue helping me being creative, producing razor sharp content for both my viewers and my family. I hope you found some value in today's video, and if you like to help out the channel, subscribe for more cool tech content. Until next time, Ultra Tech